Hey, yo!
We are in for a good Dynamite tonight. We are live from Chicago, Illinois, and we are going to have some debuts, maybe some surprise ones, and we might even see some old friends cross paths tonight. But we are headlined by MJF versus the hometown hero, CM Punk, in the same city he debuted in just a few months ago. And speaking of debuts, we have the in-ring debut of Brody King in the House of Black. We have the AEW debut of Brian Kendrick, and maybe some surprise debuts like Keith Lee and Karrion Kross because their no-compete clause is up. We have an absolutely stacked card for the night with Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose. We have Jon Moxley versus Brian Kendrick. We have the Death Triangle versus House of Black, and our main event of the evening, the match that seems too good to be free, CM Punk versus MJF. Free at last, free at last. Here's the list of the 10 former WWE Superstars who were let go on November 4th and have an opportunity to make a debut and be all elite tonight. And speaking of these guys, I'm thinking Keith Lee's looking pretty much like a lock for tonight after this tweet. He said, "Through victory, my chains are broken. Time has freed me, and now the Force shall guide me." We're talking surprises. I think our lock for the night is Keith Lee showing up and being all elite. If he doesn't show up, or even if he does, I think we have some more possible surprises. I think Karrion Kross and Scarlett have a good chance to show up in AEW. And I think also we've been waiting for the Briscoes for a while, and they're going to show up eventually. So why not in Chicago, where everybody likes making their AEW debut? And that might not be it, because today on Instagram, Braun Strowman posted this. Now, he might just be making fun of Shane McMahon as he's throwing Shane out of the cage, just like Shane was thrown out of WWE, or he is foreshadowing something, and that is him breaking free of his own cage and finally making a splash in a new promotion, and that would be All Elite Wrestling. He did use the hashtag, change is coming. So maybe that is the change we're going to get tonight. Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose. I think Ruby is going to get a strong victory here as she continues her quest to the TBS Championship, because I think she's eventually going to fight Jade Cargill at AEW Revolution, so she needs this victory to build herself up for that match and get prepared for that. So I got Ruby winning this one. We have Jon Moxley, the man who said shit and fuck on live TV 2 weeks ago, fresh out of rehab. This man is looking good, taking on Bryan Danielson's friend, Brian Kendrick. I know it's his debut, but I think Moxley's got this one, and you can lock it up. Unless there's some sort of interference by Danielson, that's the only way Moxley doesn't win this one. We have the Death Triangle taking on House of Black. Again, this one is a debut match, but this one's going to go the other way of the Brian Kendrick match. House of Black takes this one as they build them up as a team and continue to be a dominant force in AEW. Now, the match that we've all been talking about, the match that seems too good to be true, or at least too good to be on free television in CM Punk's hometown. CM Punk is taking on MJF. Now, here's what I think. I think there's going to be some sort of screwy finish here, and MJF wins, or this match doesn't happen at all. My prediction is that CM Punk comes out, the crowd gets hyped up, MJF's music comes out, MJF grabs the microphone and says, "Yeah, I said CM Punk is fighting MJF, but I didn't mean Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I meant my Jewish friend." And then Colt Cabana's music hits, and the crowd goes still pretty nuts because these two guys, CM Punk and Colt Cabana, have real-life beef, and we have not seen them interact in a ring together yet. So their match will still be pretty hyped, so the fans won't be too let down. Of course, MJF will get some great heat by still once again putting off his match against Punk, and I'm sure they're going to have that eventual match at AEW Revolution. So my prediction here is Punk versus Cabana, and Punk takes the W. Let me know what you guys think. Are we going to get CM Punk versus MJF tonight? You think my prediction is right with Colt Cabana? You think we're going to get some surprise debuts? You think I'm right about Keith Lee? Maybe Karrion Kross? Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear them.
Hey, yo!